So I shaved my legs for the first time yesterday. Yeah, let's get that. And I showed my mom, and she said I looked like Nate Walks. And I thought that was, pretty funny. At last year's graduation, father and son, Yoshi and Mr. Saito, both addressed the class of 2022. Only a few students in a graduating class have the blessed opportunity to give a speech, and as a teacher, it's also a rare occasion. Today, both my dad, Mr. Lawson, and myself are addressing you all. So hopefully next year, to carry on this newfound tradition, Dashiell Ferguson and his dad, Mr. Ferguson, can address the class of 2024. Yep. Anyways, there's a teacher in the math department at Elton Gregory Middle School here in town, Carl Robbins. Unfortunately, he is not here tonight, but hopefully these words reach him. He has been a joy to the lives of many students through his years of teaching. His benevolence and extroverted personality made his classroom a refuge for many. Looking back, I recall the simple words of wisdom he gave us every Friday before we left for the weekend. Make good choices. Every Friday, this phrase was drilled into my mind, and hearing it became routine. By some coincidence, our beloved Mrs. Bierman at Ribbon High School also repeats this phrase to her students at the end of every class. Make good choices. It's a simple piece of advice, but actually listening to it and taking its guidance is what I believe to be one of the keys to a fulfilling life. Another word for make is to cause, because something is being caused, an action is occurring, willingly or unwillingly, that results in a change. When we make a choice, we are creating an effort that will resort to some sort of consequence, which can be positive or negative. Focus on the positive. Search for it with an earnest desire. When you make a choice, let it be good and let benevolence flow from it. Defining good can be challenging, however. Because we all have lived our own lives, defining good is something that you must do on your own. The choices we all have made have led us to this point. The ability we have to choose our path is what makes each of us unique. Because you are here tonight, your attendance and dedication shows that through your high school career, some good choices have in fact been made. However, who among us is perfect? Who among us hasn't faced failure time and again? Who among us hasn't met sorrow over and over? As you face the path that lies ahead with endeavors that toil the surrounding world, and opposition that lies at every corner, I guarantee you that defeat will drink from your desire. When your path is covered in vines, when you have stumbled over and again, or when you come up to a hurdle in life and trip over it like Jillian Bremont did at the district track meet, get up. Your destination is still within range. Don't quiver in the face of society's members when all seems lost. When facing a fork in the road, continue with the path that you believe in. Time flows like a river. It has its soothing streams and it has its raging rapids. No matter the situation, no matter which way your river flows, choose to make the choice to change. In the words of J.D. Salinger, how do you know you're going to do something until you do it? Make a good choice in that present moment and let the future bring what your positivity makes of it. Every moment that passes seems to immediately become imprisoned by the past. You can't undo the choices you make. So please, I urge each of you, going forward with your lives, floating down that river, make good choices that bring you closer to the desires of your life. I would now like to close with a poem I have written for this event. Now, I'm aware many of you don't appreciate poetry in the way I do, so if you fall under that category, I do apologize. But if, like me, you see its beauty, please enjoy. This is Remember the Moments, a poem written by myself. Remember the anticipation that lied with seeds of our early years. Recall the prospect that came with roots of careers. How have these yearnings been shaped by our minds, our puppeteers? Goals were granted, holding an uncertain result. Some brought failure, stinging with insult. Others brought success, flourishing with exult. Regardless what derives, the present comes now. The past pushes past like an unwavering plow. If what comes becomes golden, its grain we must allow. Will we go forth with a scythe, efficient yet hostile? Or will we choose a shear, tiresome yet docile? The coming harvest will be one of many. Opportunity for perfection lies in plenty. But what others sow, we cannot envy. Reap that which you make. Sweep in all you partake. Leap to acquire that at stake. Prepare your harvest for the many inevitable storms. Be aware of opposition that will take its many forms. Your notion of normal may defy all norms. Recall that seed planted young and thrilled. Remember its hope to become fulfilled. Moments of a future we seek to know still have yet to grow. Thank you. I would also like to thank all my family and friends and you all, class of 2023, for being with me through these years and making some of the most memorable years of my life. I would now like to introduce the staff members selected by a senior class to speak this year, my dad, Mr. Ben Lawson.